Brilliance Audio presents The Descent by Matt Brolly. Performed by Danielle Cohen. D.I. Louise Blackwell parked up and ran to the school, her progress momentarily blocked by the thick metallic gate. Emily was waiting for her in the school office, her face peering out from the window like a prisoner. A lone teacher frowned as she buzzed Louise into the school building. "Louise Blackwell, Emily's aunt. I'm sorry it's taken so long for me to get here. I've driven from Weston." Louise looked over at Emily, who sat cross-legged, arms folded, on one of the chairs. Her niece didn't smile back. Her face turned down and sullen, she appeared to be on the verge of tears. "I'm sure you'll be hearing more from the school tomorrow," said the teacher, holding the door open for her. "Goodbye, Emily. See you tomorrow," she added, as Emily slouched through the door. "Hi, darling," said Louise. "I'm sorry I took so long getting here. Shall we go for something to eat?" Emily looked at her shoes, swaying on the spot. "Where's Daddy?" Louise crouched down so she was at eye level. She'd received the call at the station. Her brother, Paul, hadn't picked his daughter up from school 40 minutes ago. She'd called her parents, who lived close by, but the call had gone straight to answer phone, so she'd been forced to make the journey up the M5 from Weston. Emily was a tough cookie, but her eyes were red, a lone tear escaping down the left side of her face. Louise considered lying, but Emily deserved more. "I'm sure he's fine, but he couldn't make it in time." "Is he drunk again?" Louise grabbed the girl close to her, devastated by the question that aged her niece beyond her 5 years. "I'm sure he's okay, darling." The girl's body trembled in her arms, and not for the first time Louise wished she'd been able to protect her better from this, from everything that had happened to her in her short life. This wasn't the first time Paul had done this. Emily's mother, Diane, had died 3 years ago after a short struggle with cancer. The swiftness of events had surprised everyone, and naturally Paul had been hit hardest. The drinking only started to get out of hand in the last year, and Louise had thought he'd got a hold of it in the last 6 months, but the trouble had started again 3 weeks ago, on the anniversary of Diane's death. Louise blamed herself for letting it reach this stage, but that didn't absolve her brother of responsibility. She wanted to find him, to tell him exactly what she thought of his actions, but couldn't do so with Emily in tow. In the car, she phoned her parents again. "Hi, Lou," said her mother. "I'm sorry. Dad and I've been out and have only just received the messages." Louise bit her tongue, wanting to ask why their mobiles hadn't been switched on. "I've got Emily," she said. "We're going for something to eat." "Hi, Emily." "Hi, Grandma." Louise pulled over so she could take her mother off speakerphone. She stepped outside, gently shutting the car door. "You need to go and see Paul." "Dad's already on his way." "This can't go on, Mum," said Louise under her breath, fighting back her own tears. "I know, darling, I know. Bring Emily over to us after you've eaten. I have some of her school clothes here so she can stay with us for the time being." They were always finding temporary solutions for Paul's problem. He refused all offers of help, was in complete denial of his situation. He'd been a devoted husband, and his time with Diane had been the happiest Louise had ever seen him. He doted on Emily when she was born, and although his love for her hadn't disappeared following his wife's death, it was as if his daughter's presence was a constant reminder of the woman he'd lost. Louise was convinced he would never purposefully harm Emily, but he didn't understand the damage he was already causing her. Louise took her niece to Pizza Express. She didn't push the girl, gave her space as they sat in silence. Her father sent her a text to tell her he'd found Paul back at his flat. He'd been out cold, but was responding now.